What was that? Still filming?
Yeah. People are going to want to know.
Welcome to another edition of the Will Be Blood Fight Show. I'm your host, Dave Duenas. Okay, we got some boxing news. Marco Antonio Barrerra, the babyface assassin, had just signed a 5-year fight deal with Don King, possibly having a fight early as next year against Nate Campbell. That's if Nate Campbell gets past Joan Guzman, which he's got coming up in this month, okay? Now, Barrerra really facing anybody in the top lightweight division, he's going to be the underdog. He's not going to be a favorite, okay? He's been out of the game for quite some time, and really I think he's out of his prime. He should just kind of just let it go. He's on that safety first tactic, and really when we saw the old Barrerra, it was when he faced Eric Morales on his last trilogy. Now when guys are desperate, they do desperate things, okay? And him signing with Don King was a desperate thing, okay? He was signed with GoldenBoy, but walked away. There could be a lot of reasons why he walked away from GoldenBoy Promotions. One thing is GoldenBoy has pretty much all the lightweight top guys, okay? They got Casamayor, Juan Manuel Marquez. They've got Juan Diaz, Mike Casitas. So they're really them concentrating on those guys that are more upcoming stars, and Barrera's an older star. They probably went with that direction, and that upset Barrerra, or Barrerra was just like, you know what, business is business, and I got to move on. So he decided to sign with one of the guys that's black in the eye of the sport and really tarnish the name of boxing. When you go anywhere, somebody will always mention, I used to watch boxing, but Don King ruined it for me. He signed with Don King, that's it. But good business move for Don King. Why? Because Barrera's still able to put butts in the seats, okay? This is a guy still that has a very strong following in the Latino communities, you know? This is a guy that still really can make some exciting fights if he's put in with the right opponent and if he's marketed correctly to make a comeback like that. But like I said before, him facing Nate Campbell, it's a big task for him and stuff, you know? This is a guy that right now is on a good winning streak, and really his confidence buildup is really up high. Well, Barrerra, there's going to be a lot of questions within himself, in his corner, and with the fight community. So good luck to Barrerra, and hopefully nothing happens to him, because I'm a really major big fan of him and stuff, and I'd like to see him just put his gloves away, but that ain't going to happen. Not now. Not with this 5-year fight deal. Another boxing news. Paul Williams, the Punisher, is making his debut on Versus December 25th on the undercard of Chris the Nightmare Ariello. Okay, this is a pretty good matchup. He's going to be facing Andy Cole, who's got a 17-win, 1 loss, 12 knockouts, and is a big middleweight too. He's 6'1", and he walks in the ring at about 168. His only loss was to the favorite son of Oakland, Andre Ward, who's a really different style in contrast with Paul Williams. Okay, Paul Williams being a volume puncher, Andy Ward kind of more resembling Roy Jones. So it's a good stepping stone for, you know, Paul Williams to try to test the waters in the middleweight division. And it's a good choice too. He's chasing the bigger and bigger money fights. So good luck to him on that fight. Okay, in other news, let's talk about Manny Pacquiao versus the GoldenBoy. You know, I did a bit about it already, but what I really want to talk about is, as we all know already, is the outrageous prices for this major event. Okay, there's been some talk about boycotting this fight, and really, there's no need to boycott such a fight of this magnitude, because even if you're going to boycott, you're going to be within the few of hundreds boycotting this fight. There's going to be so many viewers that's going to have so much interest in this fight. There's no way of stopping this from happening. You know, you got 2 major stars. Manny Pacquiao is really an international star. You know, he's got major fans in the Philippines, major fans in the Latin world, major fans in the UK, major fans here in the US, okay? This fight here should really be breaking records. It should break the record of the Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya fight. Now, reason why this fight's really been made is, like I've said it before, it's a big money fight. But really look at it this way, okay? GoldenBoy, Oscar De La Hoya, has always been a good businessman. You know, when it comes to marketing fights, he's been able to generate numbers, and being a non-heavyweight guy, generate some really major numbers. You know, he's probably kept the sport alive in the mainstream eyes, where his fights make it in the news, okay? Or they make it in the newspaper, or they make it in Sports Illustrated. This is a fight that's going to make it in every network, every newspaper stand. Pretty much, it's going to come out of the mouths out of every media that you can think of because of him facing Manny Pacquiao. Now, we could really be upset even more if, let's say, he wasn't facing Manny Pacquiao. Let's say he was facing somebody that was coming from the lightweight division that was not a marquee name, that really was not going to generate any money, okay? Then we could be kind of pissed. But him really facing a Manny Pacquiao, you know what? Especially a guy that's got balls of steel, that's going to come up and move up in a weight to 147 and is going to give Oscar hell. You can't really be mad at that fight, okay? It's going to be some interesting moments and points out of that fight. Really, like I said before, it's not going to be a major mismatch, but I think there's going to be so much interest. I think there's a lot to be told in this particular fight, okay? I'm really kind of curious, okay? And for Manny Pacquiao, you know what? Hey man, that's great that he's actually taking such a major step to generate such a big event. Now, the other thing I really like about this, and this is a great business move for Manny and De La Hoya, is the fact that they take away the limelight away from MMA. He's doing it again. He did it when he faced Mayweather, and he's doing it one more time. You know, that's one of the big major arguments that I have with a lot of MMA fans. You know, when I'm sitting down and I'm having lunch at work, or I'm somewhere and I hear a guy go, yeah, boxing is dead. MMA's, you know, just completely taking him out of, you know, out of the light. And I turn around and say, man, really? Wow. Have you even checked the stats and the numbers of Mayweather Oscar versus Oscar De La Hoya? Well, you know what? It's going to happen again. Once again, Oscar has found a way of taking the light away from the MMA world and putting it all focused just on the boxing world. That's going to be featured on December 6th. So you can't hate on really on this whole match. Yeah, he should have faced Antonio Margarito. But let's be happy. At least he's going to be facing a guy that's, you know, a hell of a fighter, a guy that comes to fight, a guy that's not going to run from Oscar, and a guy that's going to be looking to knock out Oscar. Okay? So this really is going to make up a good match, whether if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or goes all 12. It's going to be an exciting fight. We're going to get something at least out of it. Okay? So that's my take about it. You know, don't boycott it, because you're going to end up watching it regardless. You know, you're a fight fan, I'm a fight fan. You know, you're going to have, it's going to strike some interest, you know. Curiosity has killed a cat. That should really be directed to Manny Pacquiao. Curiosity killed the cat, buddy. But for the fight fans that are saying they're going to boycott it, you know what? You know you're going to be there. Somebody's going to be throwing a barbecue. Somebody's going to be calling you up. Some bar's going to be holding it. Some closed caption place is going to be, you know, throwing it out. And you're going to end up going. You may not, you know, if you're smart enough, you may be able to convince somebody else to pay for you to go watch it, or invite you to come down and eat, and you can watch and have a couple of brewskis, and then say, yeah, I didn't want to watch this fight. And then you're sitting there and you're watching it. Anyways, I'm your host, Dave Duenas, and this was another edition of the Will Be Blood Fight Show.
Cooker tucked in the line and lineman. In the streets prowling, wilding like a wild pirate. But I'm still shining, hydro the wrist. Got my neck cold, deep freezer, the face blower. And I'm right back in again, back at 10. In these blocks like my name called again, yeah. And the flow, black magic, black hammers. Hot like spatulas, flip out your actors. Move with the semis, the whips is whip silly. I live in Sin City, it's slower. Get with me, I'm flow silly, I pressure cook kidneys in the same field as big faces still feeling. And I'm still drilling bricks like it's oil when it's slow. When it back to the wall, to the reaper visit. And my pimment right here on the cement. Watch the watch turn cold like a full blown. I can show you how to keep the bricks flipping, keep the dough lifting, keep the text pitching. I can show you how to lock down buildings, snowplow wrists, chrome out sixes. I can show you how to break down bricks and